Going live, and you are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the playoff-bound 16-0 New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. Why the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They've always sucked, and they always will suck. Eagles freaking suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there, anybody all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Thank you once again from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. Or anybody spends any time at all watching a replay of this, once again from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys rock. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. As I always try to do, shoot my mouth off. Anybody got anything to say? Please feel free, throw it away in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5-10 minutes or so. So anything that gets put in there, right, I see and I respond to, right? So please feel free and fire away, all right? Before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box, there's a click on the link and it takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own perks to them. All right. There's loyalty badges, which are pretty cool. Took me a while, okay, to find them all. But the loyalty badges is 8 different helmets for the Giants, okay? And each one, the older the helmet design is and all that, the longer you've been a supporter of my channel. So it's pretty cool. There's also 4 emojis that are available too if you become a supporter of my channel. Eventually there will be a 5th one coming out, but right now there's 4 of them, okay? Every time I say that, every time I do a video, when I look at, I get a kick at them every time I look. I had them made up on Fiverr, and they're pretty cool. You can use them, I guess, in the chat box, or if you're making a comment or something like that, and they're pretty cool. So anybody who wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go below, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified, and it's free of charge. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 3 different links associated basically with Facebook, okay? The top link that goes to Facebook is I got a group, okay, which is growing, all right? It's growing. It's really doing well. It's called, obviously, no, the Gridiron, okay? Very original, I know. But there's over 1,900 members in there, okay, as of right now. Now, the great thing about that is that, now, every day, I try to put, between the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, and the Facebook page, which I'm going to go over in a minute, okay? I spend like 2-3 hours every day, putting stuff in there. So in the group, I spend like probably half an hour, 45 minutes or so every day putting stuff in there. Whether it's a picture, a post, or a video or something, I'm always putting stuff in there. Now, the great thing about the group is that if you join and become a member, right, I got members putting stuff in there as well. Okay, every day. So as I said, it's just not so much me, it's other people as well. Right. So, there's at least 10 different things going in there every day. And that's not only just, Monday through Friday, whatever. That's like pretty much 7 days a week. It's like a 7-day-a-week job. And it even includes the off season. In the off season, maybe there's not as many things to post or whatever, like whatever. The middle of May, there's probably not much going on, but I'm still going to put stuff in there. May not be 10 to 15 things every day, okay, but I'm going to be putting stuff in there every day, which leads me to my next thing is that there's 2 additional links in the description box below for Facebook as well, okay? the two bottom ones, they're both the pages, okay? The bottom link, okay, says this day in Giants football history, okay? That one I'm not as involved in right now because during the season, with the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, and the Facebook page, the one Facebook page, I just spent like 2 to 3 hours. It's like every day. It's almost like a part-time job, basically, okay? But it's what they say. It's like if you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life. And basically, I do this just because it's just, really, really enjoy it. It's not like work, but it does take time. The middle link, okay, the middle Facebook link is to a page. It's called New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a page. There's 496 people who like it. There's over 1,500 people following it. Now, the following, I'll tell you, every week I'm going up at least 100 people on the followers. That's going up. That's really, really doing really, really well. It's the same thing. Okay. It's that, I'm spending like probably half an hour, 45 minutes every day putting stuff in the page as well. Now, I'm the only one who posts in the page. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one who posts in the page. Okay. But I mean, I said, I make sure I pay, that's 7 days a week as well, too. Now, I'm the only one who can post in there. But as I said, it's the same thing, whether it's a picture, a post, a video or something, I'm throwing up probably usually at least 5 to 10 different things every day in there. And I don't commingle them. Whatever I put on the page, I don't usually put in the group and vice versa. Okay. So if you click on the link for the page and you like it and you follow it, okay, you're going to get 5 to 10 things every day. If you join the group and you become a member, okay, not only can you post in the group, but there's at least 5 to 10 new items I'm posting in there every day. So between the two of them, you get at least 15 to 20, whether it's a picture, a post from like a newspaper or something, an article or whatever, or whether it's a video or something every day. So you got all kinds of stuff going. So, click on them, like them, follow them, become a member, and you won't be disappointed. And as always, if you're not happy, your money back guarantee. So now, with all of that said and done, I know this is this is kind of probably. I mean, this talking about Dave Gettleman. I mean, I'll tell you. Kind of like a little taboo. I was almost kind of like maybe in the beginning of the season, or maybe halfway through last season, or wherever you want to look at it, talking up Daniel Jones. We owe Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones is going to be pretty good, but if we want to take a step back, and I know Dave Gettleman has screwed up a lot. You pretty much get 3 swings and you strike out. Okay, so basically, out of every 3 swings, Dave Gettleman probably missed twice. Maybe he would hit, get a hit, but he would, So, out of every 3 swings, he, most of the time he he didn't do too well. Okay, one of the things you got in a ridiculous kind of way is that between the coaches he brought in, okay, between Shermer and Judge, right? If it wasn't for those guys, really, Shermer is a very good offensive-minded coordinator, okay? Not a very good coach, okay? He didn't do well, like with the Browns. He didn't do well here. He's probably not going to be coach ever again in the pros, but his offensive mind, offensive coordinator wise, and all that, Pat Shermer is very good. Now, let's not forget, Daniel Jones basically played 12 full games his rookie season. Missed the first 2, came in the third one. Okay, they say he played like a cup of coffee against the Cowboys in week, I think it was week 2 or whatever. So to me, that's that. When you're in there for a drive, that's not a game now. When you start a game, you play the whole game. That's a game, okay? And he missed 2 games because of injury, okay? That's when Eli came in Eli's last game he wound up playing was at home against the Dolphins. We wound up winning, sent Eli off a winner, as he is. But Let's not forget, like with Shermer, okay? Daniel Jones in 12 games, 12 full games, 24 touchdown passes. Now, let's not forget, he had I think 1,387 fumbles. After like 1,200, you start losing it. So he had a lot of fumbles. You also had 12 interceptions too, okay? So, but he had 24 touchdown passes, and that's not to forget his rushing touchdowns as well, too, okay? In 12 games, he averaged 2 passing touchdowns a game. He's not doing – obviously, I get it. We don't have the wide receivers and blah, 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 all that stuff, but he's not averaging 2 touchdown passes a game this year, okay? Interceptions are down, fumbles are down, all that stuff. I get all that, but let's not forget. We've had Shermer in there calling the plays and all, right? He averaged 2 touchdown passes a game. But besides that, we'll Gettleman bringing in like Shermer, okay, because Gettleman came in after Reese was gone, right? So Gettleman, hired Shermer. We're still kind of scratching our heads on that one. Then brought Joe Judge in, okay? So without those two, all right, with those two, we would not be in the situation we're in right now. We would not have Dable. Plain and simple. Okay. If Joe Judge was a little bit better, okay, let's not forget, Judge's first season, we were 5-3. The last 8 games of the season. We started 1-7. We almost made the playoffs at 6-10, but we did finish the season 5-3. Now, last season we were 4-13. Obviously, if last season, we were 6-10 in Judge's first season. Just say we went to 8-9. Okay, say we got 2 more wins and we had 1 less loss. So obviously, 17 games, we went 8-9. Still not a winning record, but we're going in the right direction. Or even say we were 7-10, right? You can kind of say maybe we were maybe either going in the right direction or maybe not losing ground, right? But, obviously being 4-13, something had to go. Gettleman had to go. Judge had to go, especially Judge, that one that he had at the press conference talking. He went on for like 11 minutes just talking and talking why he sees – I don't see guys fighting on the sideline and just going on and on and on. He basically just talked himself out of a job. But let's not forget, as I said, between Shermer and Judge being that bad, we would not have Shane and Dable in here right now. So that's just a small, ridiculous way of, I guess, looking at it, why we owe Gettleman. If he wasn't such a screw-up, we wouldn't have Shane and Dable in here. But I just want to kind of go over here real fast, okay? If we, just going back. Now, some of this, the situation we're in right now is not having some. We couldn't re-sign some guys because we don't have any money. Now, so that whose fault's that? That's Gettleman's fault. Okay, so that's one of the 9 million things that went wrong under Dave Gettleman. Okay, but we go back to his first draft. Now, many people could have said we could have took different players in 2018. I'm one of them to tend to agree to that, but we took Saquon. Okay. Now, hopefully going forward, right, we're going to hopefully, if the numbers work out, we'll have Saquon, okay, around, for at least another 3-4 years, hopefully. Okay. Now, I'm not sure how many more years of trade. It's hard to believe, but it's his 5th year already. Running backs usually don't last forever, right? So, let's hope we can get another 3 or 4 years out of Saquon. Okay. But, if we look in that draft as well, too, okay, we lost Lorenzo Carter. Could you imagine if we still – Lorenzo Carter last year, what the hell was it? He had 5 sacks in the last 4 games, or was it 4 sacks in the last 5 games or something like – the whole season he had nothing. Then all of a sudden, the last 4 or 5 games, he's got all these sacks. I think it was 5 sacks in the last 4 games or something. Could you imagine, right, with Wink Martindale, right? Being in there. If we had Azeez, right? Maybe Oshane Ximines, Lorenzo Carter, Kayvon in there. We'd have and obviously Sexy Dexy and Leonard Williams, and we have some nice pass rushers in there. Unfortunately, because we didn't have any money, we lost Lorenzo Carter, and he only signed for about $3 million. Once again, why? Well, because Dave Gettleman screwed up. We didn't have any salary cap money. But then also Will Hernandez, okay? He did decent his rookie season, and I'm it's tough to say, is it all him? Was it just the coaching? It's tough to say. It's tough to say what he would have done if we wound up keeping him. Once again, he left for greener pastures, I guess. With the Cardinals, okay. But in the first year, we wound up getting Saquon. Now, should we have taken Quentin Nelson? I would have, right? But we have Saquon, okay. So out of what we had six guys. Right, we drafted. Actually, then we drafted Sam Beal too, so that was another debacle right there. But we have a building block with Saquon Barkley, who is was huge for the Giants in the beginning of the season. Now, I'm not sure if they're just putting a pitch count on him, if he's banged up, if he's wearing down the end of the season, who knows what. But let's not forget, Saquon was a pivotal part of the beginning of the season for the New York Giants and getting where we went to. The record that we shot at the 7-2, he was very pivotal in that. Now, hopefully what Shane and Dale are going to do is keep him around, okay, for at least another, hopefully 2, 3, 4 years, right? But, Gettleman did draft Saquon, okay? So then we go to the 2019 draft, okay? Now, as I said, if you went back to last year or 2 years ago, and how times have changed. Okay, let's not forget, who we drafted, pick 6. Okay, Daniel Jones. Okay, now it's easy to say it now, the way Daniel Jones is flourishing with Dable/Kafka and the offense and all, but he's looking pretty good. A lot of people, I remember specifically, I don't know if it was the first press conference right after the draft or whatever it was, but somebody asked, Gettleman something along the lines of, what did you see in Daniel Jones or something along those lines. And Dave Gettleman said something like, we feel or we believe or something like that, in a couple of years, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Yeah. So I think we're pretty pleasantly surprised. Now, does he have the gaudy numbers? Is he putting up 30 touchdown passes? No. He has 5 interceptions this year. With basically, practice squad, 6th, 7th, 8th string wide receivers out there, right? Okay. He's having a very, very good season. And he just basically earned himself a contract extension by the New York Giants. Okay. Or another contract, shall we say. Right, by the New York Giants. And I think they're going to wind up, right? They're going to get that done in the offseason, hopefully before free agency starts, okay? But let's, he did draft Daniel Jones, all right? Everybody made fun of him at pick 6 and this, that, and the other thing and all, and it looked pretty bad. Maybe not so much in the first year when he went 24-12 and all and everything, but the last 2 seasons were very, very mediocre, and a lot of people were laughing at him. I was kind of one of them too, right? But let's not forget, he drafted Daniel Jones. Then who else did he draft? Who did we draft at number 17 overall? The best rated, I believe, by PFF, interior defensive lineman, Sexy Dexy, all right? Who's having himself a freaking phenomenal season, okay, without question. I mean, if this guy can keep things up, man, phenomenal. What a freaking pick. He's just a freaking also could be because we got the defensive line coach, okay, from the Patterson from Minnesota, okay. They call him the Godfather. They don't call him the Godfather for nothing. Maybe he's really getting the best out of Sexy Dexy. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, hopefully Dex can keep doing what he's doing, man. I'll tell you what, we have a phenomenal defensive lineman for quite a few more years to come. Okay. Of course, he did draft DeAndre Baker. He traded up for DeAndre Baker. We're going to pass on that. We got Oshane Ximines. Might be his last year with the Giants. Possibly. Unless we can get him on the cheap. I don't know who's really going to pay him much, but we'll have to wait and see. But who do we get in the fourth round? Julian Love. Okay, Mr. Duct Tape himself, right? Somebody we need to re-sign. We have to keep that guy in the secondary. Guy can play special teams. He can play cornerback. He can play safety. He can frickin' do almost anything he asked the guy to do. A fantastic pick. I remember a lot of people thinking he was going to kind of go in the second round. Okay. But we wound up getting a steal, absolute steal in the fourth round by drafting Julian Love. Now, Ryan Connolly, who was drafted in the fifth round, okay, didn't do too bad. Wasn't doing too bad. Then he got injured, okay, and when he wound up coming back, he was I don't know. Judges just let him go. They let him go. So it is what it is. But also in the fifth round that year, who did we get? Darius Slayton. Okay. So, maybe he's taking a step back from what he did his first year, okay, with the Giants, but still he's an integral, important part, okay, of the Giants offense this year, okay. Maybe he's not quite as what Hodgins is doing and Richie James is doing, okay, but, Slayton has made some plays for the Giants this year. And since we've lost so many wide receivers this year, Slayton's play has been huge this year, okay? So let's not forget the draft, okay, from 2019. Julian Love, all right, Dexter Lawrence, Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton. Then we go to 2020, okay? What do we get in 2020? A lot of people laughed and all of that and said that we picked the worst offensive tackle out of the four, this, that, and the other thing. Nah, Andrew Thomas. We got the man. All right, we got the left tackle. Tristan Wirfs is doing good. But I think he's grading out maybe better than, but Tristan Wirfs is a right tackle. Okay. We got the best left tackle, okay, in the draft that year. Okay. And I'll tell you what, Andrew Thomas is turning out to be a freaking stud. Okay. Phenomenal pick by Dave Gettleman. Okay. Maybe he got laughed at, this, that. He had his problems his first year. He had some problems with his ankle and his feet and all of that. He got surgery on that to hopefully to take care of that, repair that and all that. But it's kind of panning out now. Look how good Andrew Thomas is right now, huh? In his third season with the New York Giants, Andrew Thomas is a freaking stud, and he should have been an all-pro too. But then who do we get in the second round? Xavier McKinney, right? So now we got the guys in the back. We got Julian Love, and we got our two safeties, Xavier McKinney, Julian Love, okay? He drafted Matt Parrott, Darnay Holmes, okay? It's kind of, Darnay Holmes has had some good. He's also had some bad. I believe he's had some problems with penalties. Okay, but with the amount of injuries we've had in our secondary, Darnay Holmes has been a big help this year. Okay, as I said, is he a shutdown corner? Absolutely not. Is he good depth? Yep, absolutely. I mean, look what we're doing. He's playing with the Giants, and we're going to the playoffs. Okay. As I said, is he a shutdown corner? No. Is he Deion Sanders? No, of course not. But, right, we also got Shane Lemieux. Now, he kind of tough to figure out with him because he's injured all the time, all right? We also got Cam Brown, who's not much of a linebacker, but he's very, very good on special teams. Carter Coughlin, not much of a linebacker, very, very good on special teams. And we also drafted Tate Crowder, okay, who, right? We let him go. Now he's with the Steelers, right? But he led the team in tackles last year. Okay. But I mean, at least his first, and we got Matt Parrott, all right, who hopefully, if he's, well, the jury's still out on Matt Parrott, whether he can maybe be some type of a good depth at tackle, or we can maybe slide him into guard or whatever, but we'll have to wait and see. But between Thomas and McKinney, right, the top 2 picks were freaking absolute home runs by Dave Gettleman in the 2020 draft. Then we go to 2021. All right, is the last draft, right? Now, who did we get in the second round? Azeez, right? And then we got and because of Joe Judge and how bad we were and all that stuff, and if we weren't that bad, guess what? We wouldn't have Kayvon because we were that frick. I mean, in one really ridiculous, stupid, idiotic way. Okay. Oh, there's Ronnie. Hey, Happy New Year, Ronnie. Happy New Year. But I mean, you figure in one stupid, absolute, ridiculous way, if we were not that absolutely pathetic, right, and Dave Gettleman didn't screw up with some of these free agent signings and all that stuff and everything, we wouldn't have been 4-13. We wouldn't have had pick number 5, and we wouldn't have our bookends. I mean, that's a stupid, ridiculous way of looking at it. I get it, but we drafted Azeez Ojulari in the second round. Okay. We also get Gary Brightwell, who has participated, on special teams, he participated a little bit in the games. But we also got, Aaron Robinson and Rodarius Williams in the secondary. Unfortunately, Rodarius Williams, I'm not sure, maybe he's in the doghouse, but Aaron Robinson can't seem to stay healthy either. But if Aaron Robinson was healthy, Aaron Robinson would quite possibly be our second cornerback. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit in a minute over our cornerback situations, okay? But then we go to Kadarius Toney, all right, who he traded back, right, with the Bears. Got Kadarius Toney. Now, also with Kadarius Toney, let's see here. Oh, there we go. All right, and they traded Kadarius Toney, all right, to the Chiefs. So we don't have Kadarius Toney anymore, but we're going to get the Chiefs' compensatory third-round pick and the team's original sixth-round selection in the draft next year. Okay, so I don't know what you're going to expect out of a sixth-round pick. And the compensatory pick is going to be like right around pick 100. Okay, so the Giants are still going to get a pick for Kadarius, 2 picks. Said, I don't know what you're going to get with the sixth-round pick, but we're going to get a like right around pick 100. Okay, so we have that. All right, now. Says the Giants obviously picked number 21 overall in the draft, trading with the Bears, moving back from number 11. The Giants received the Bears' first-round pick, number 20, and the fifth-round pick, which was 164 choices in the 2021 draft, plus the first and fourth-round selections in the 2022 draft. Now, their first and fourth-round selection in the 2022 draft became picks number 7 and 112. Okay, So in addition to Toney, the Giants used their pick 164, which they got from the Bears, to trade up into the third round and take cornerback Aaron Robinson, who would be basically our second cornerback if he can ever stay healthy. Maybe next year he can stay healthy. All right, would be nice. Okay. But then, all right, with the picks that the Giants got 2 picks, okay, for the Bear from this year, okay. They got the Bears' first-round pick and their fourth-round pick in this draft. So who did we take in this year's draft, right, with pick the Bears' first-rounder and their fourth-rounder? Took Evan Neal, who's struggling, okay, but so is Andrew Thomas. I believe, give Evan Neal another year or so. Now, whether we might bring him in, put him in at guard, maybe. He's kind of tall. But I honestly believe, he'll get better. Now, is he going to be an all-pro? I can't say that, but he'll get better? Absolutely. I really firmly believe, without question, Evan Neal will get better. And as time goes by, we're going to have Andrew Thomas on one side, Evan Neal on the other. I think we're going to have our bookend tackles for quite some time, and they're going to be expensive too. But not only did we get Evan Neal, but we also got Daniel Bellinger as well, too. Okay. So we got, in this year's draft because of the Bears. Okay. Now, as I said, we didn't draft Neal or Bellinger, but we got those picks because of what Dave Gettleman did with Kadarius Toney the year before in 2021. Okay. So let's not forget that. All right. So we got, we got Toney, but we got Robinson, we got Neal, and we got Bellinger. And not only that, but, then we don't have Tony anymore, obviously. But okay, we're going to get the Chiefs' third-round compensatory pick this year. So in 2023. So whoever that is, you got to add that into the Kadarius Toney trade too. So basically, in a way, that's kind of thanks to Dave. Joe Shane mainly, but way to Dave Gettleman, because if we never took Kadarius Toney, we wouldn't have that third-round pick either. So, all right. So I mean, Dave Gettleman's got quite a fingerprint on this. Okay. Now let's also not forget he signed Graham Gano too, and we have Graham Gano till next year too. 2020, I believe, 2021, 22, and 20. So we got him one more year. So he signed Graham Gano, basically whatever. Top 5 kicker every year since we've had him. I mean, how many games has he won? How many 50-yard field goals? The only one he missed this year was the 58-yarder against the Commanders, which would have won the game. It was a little too long for him. If we could have gotten another like 4 or 5 yards, it was on. It was on the goalpost. If he was a little bit closer, it would have gone over. We would have won, and we'd be 10-6 right now. Or 10-6, yeah. So instead of 9-6-1, we'd be 10-6. But let's not forget, we got Graham Gano. All right. Huge from Dave Gettleman. Okay. Now, if we start looking, all right, Daniel Jones, our quarterback. Saquon Barkley, drafted by Gettleman. Darius Slayton, our starting wide receiver, drafted by Dave Gettleman. Daniel Bellinger, we get drafted this year, but it's a result of something Dave Gettleman did with Kadarius Toney trading with the Bears. Andrew Thomas, drafted by who? Right? Dave Gettleman. We had Nick Gates, okay? Not drafted, but brought in, I believe, by Dave Gettleman, okay? Evan Neal. We got him, okay, with pick 7 because of what Dave Gettleman did with the Bears. So Dave Gettleman's got his fingerprints all over the offense this year. Now let's look. Dexter Lawrence, Dave Gettleman. Leonard Williams, who? Yeah, that's right. Dave, everybody was laughing at him when he made the traded picks and this, that. Now, what are you doing that for? Well, we got ourselves Leonard Williams. Now, why is he not affected? He has a very bad neck injury. Painful, and it won't heal up until the season's over with. But Leonard Williams is a freaking stud. Jalen Smith, we had him last year. Okay, we let him go. They brought him back. Okay, but Jalen Smith, we had him here last year. Azeez Ojulari, who drafted him? Dave Gettleman. And it was because of Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari. Because of Dave Gettleman, we have our 2 stud tackles. Part of Dave Gettleman, we have our 2 edge rushers, right? We stunk so bad that we could draft 5th to pick Kayvon, and Dave Gettleman drafted Azeez Ojulari. All right. Who brought in Adoree Jackson as our cornerback? Dave Gettleman. Who drafted Julian Love? Dave Gettleman. Who drafted Xavier McKinney? Dave Gettleman. The one move, okay, that would really, I'll tell you what, lock things up. I mean, with the Giants, who we got? We have to pull out the big guns this week. We play like we did this week, we can win. Yeah, I think we, I don't think Hurts is playing. I'm in South Jersey, okay, and I'm listening to. I got to listen to Philadelphia news. So they were talking something about maybe Hurts may not play until the playoffs. So he may not be playing. I thought he was, but I guess he's hurt worse than was expected. So I don't think Hurts is going to be playing this week. So I think they have Minshew mania going on, and let's hope Minshew mania plays as bad this week as he did last week against the Saints, because he was not very good last week at all against the Saints. He had one long pass, like a 78-yarder, I think it was, to Brown. Okay. Giants going to need to, be on their P's and Q's, right, for Brown and Smith. But, I mean, because the Eagles got to win this game. They don't want to, they don't want to lose. Maybe have the Cowboys win, get the Cowboys win the East, and now the Eagles have to play the following week. The Eagles don't want to do that. Do not want to do that. They said they want to rest him for the playoffs. Yeah. So, but I mean, they might be resting him, but I don't know how many other, they're not resting nobody else. I mean, they kicked the crap out of us last time. That was with Hurts. Minshew does not run. Okay, so that's going to help. That'll help. That'll be huge because they don't want him running. So, but, I mean, they still have DeVonta Smith. They're still going to have Brown. They got the offensive line, right? They got that defensive line. They have like 67 sacks. I think they're probably going to sack Daniel Jones enough time this weekend. They're going to break the all-time single record. You got to take it with a grain of salt, too, because the all-time record is 72, but that's in a 16-game schedule. I mean, it's they start breaking records. Well, yeah, you play more games. Yeah, of course you're going to start breaking records. So the Eagles don't necessarily have the record in a 16-game schedule. They're probably going to get 5 sacks, probably, because they got a heck of a defense, and they can just keep. They just take one or two go off, another one or two come on. They just keep replacing them. It's freaking bananas how many guys they got who can sack the quarterback and get pressure. It's amazing. But they're probably going to have over 70 sacks this season. So I'm saying, their defensive front is phenomenal. The last point I want to make about Dave Gettleman, which ties me with the Eagles, okay, is that because the one move that Dave Gettleman, if he did not make, the Giants would I don't want to say it would be set, but I'll tell you what, the Giants would be a lot scarier this year if he didn't make one move. And that would be he signed Kenny Golladay. If he didn't sign Kenny Golladay and we had a little bit of money, guess what? We could have saved, or we could have held on to James Bradberry. James Bradberry would be a Giant. He wouldn't be an Eagle. And that's one of the big reasons the Eagles are so good, okay, is because they got that defensive front, but they got Slay and they got Bradberry. 2 really good, solid cornerbacks. And, if you got 2, the Giants are playing, they don't, they got cornerbacks, but our number one has been missed for past 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is. And our other one he's been Aaron Robinson, he's been on IR. And we're still winning games, but they got a phenomenal pass rush, right? And they got 2 really good corners. Could you imagine, right, if we didn't sign Kenny Golladay, because we're paying him and we're not getting nothing out. Could you imagine we had Adoree Jackson, right? James Bradberry, right? We got Landon Collins back, right? As him like a roving safety and bring him up in the box. He can cover and stuff like that, right? But we had Xavier McKinney, Julian Love, Adoree Jackson, Bradberry, Landon Collins, right? And we had Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau, Sexy Dexy, we had Leonard Williams. Man, we would have a nice defense, really nice defense. But that's the one. It is what it is, But if he never signed Kenny Golladay, we would have enough money. Obviously Oshane didn't. He was trying to trade James Bradberry. He did not want to just have to release him, but he had to release him. He didn't want to let go of him. We couldn't afford him. We couldn't afford to sign our draft class, right? So he was basically the only one we can get rid of that we could save enough money to sign our draft class. So if he never signed Kenny Golladay, we would still have James Bradberry on the team. And we would be, I'll tell you what, I'm not saying we would be the team to beat, but we would be a lot scarier. We're doing good now. All right. We're kind of on a nice little roll here. Okay. But we would be a lot scarier, I think. If we were to get Adoree Jackson back and we had James Bradberry, oh yeah, we'd be doing good. Please don't remind me. Oh yeah. No, sorry. But that one move, that just killed because we had no money this year. No money at all. And unfortunately, our loss is now helping the Eagles big time. Because I remember like last year when the Eagles had Slay, right? You can maybe stay away from Slay, but you could pick on their other side, right? Their safeties were nothing really super duper phenomenal or anything like that. So, you could still pass on them and gain some yards. You just try to, for the most part, you try to stay away from Slay, right? Now it's like, Slay's basically taking your number one receiver. Bradbury's good enough where he can cover a number 2 wide receiver, right? So that really limits, who you can throw the ball to. And as I said, with their pass rush, I mean, if you stand in the pocket for an extra second or so, it's like, forget about it. I mean, they're just all over you. I mean, they got a phenomenal pass rush. But it's going to be tough. I mean, just don't forget because they don't have Hurts. He's a huge part, but they really want to win this game. I mean, I think that the 2 biggest ones would be, well, the Cowboys got to win too, right? But if the Eagles had that big lead, where they're like 13-1, whoever it was, and they wind up losing the division to the Cowboys, ooh, that would hurt. And then not only that, but they would be at home and they would lose to the Giants. Ooh, that would hurt. That would really be freaking embarrassing. The one nice thing, okay, is the Eagles sometimes don't always play really phenomenal at home. Okay, when they do, if they're clicking and they're on, it's going to be tough. I'm not trying to lie. But the one thing, the Eagles fans are passionate, really passionate. But things start going bad, they can start turning in a hurry. They, a couple early 3 and outs or something like that, the Boo Birds will be out. They're going to start, So the Giants need to weather the storm. The Giants need to make it to halftime. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they're losing 13-10 at halftime. The Giants, no, certainly not. The Giants can easily get blown out in the second half. I'm just trying to be real here, okay? But I think the Giants need to weather the storm, okay? Get because they didn't. It was down like 21-0 in the first quarter. Was it first quarter somewhere around there? I mean, it was 24-3. I think. I mean, they just got blown out of the water. That could happen this time too if we don't bring our big boy pants on. All right, buckle up and play some football. Okay, easily get blown out here without question. But I think the Giants are going to be huge. The Giants have to make it to at least like halftime. Keep it competitive, keep it a game, right? Get some confidence going and all that. And then when the second half rolls around, you can't blow it. You can't, no interceptions. Daniel Jones can't get sacked, fumble, Eagles recover. You can't do none of that stuff, right? Giants going to have to, play a really, really, whether Minshew's in there or not, whoever's in there, Giants are going to have to play a really, really good game. Mistake-free football. I mean, if the Giants have a turnover, well, they're going to have to get 1 or 2 back from Minshew. Right? It's plain and simple. The Giants can't give away 2 or 3 turnovers and not get any back and expect to win this football game. I don't see that happening at all. So, but it's been 42, almost 43 minutes. Let me shoot my mouth off. But as I said, not many people are going to agree or have a hard time admitting it or whatever. I'll be one of them. But we owe Dave Gettleman a little bit of gratitude for this team. Okay. Well, as I say, guys, it's been 43 minutes. Somebody gave me a thumbs up. Still 2 people watching. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. Ronnie, it's always absolute honor to hear from you. Thank you. I know when you put comments in there, they just keep coming. I love it. It keeps me going. I absolutely love it. So anybody spent any time watching this, and Ronnie, thank you. Thank you. You rock, Ronnie. As always, guys, thank you. Anybody spends any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys absolutely rock. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.